Hey, 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 hey. Hey.
So one thing you want to do when you start talking about effective relationship is transparency.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're aware that the other is doing, you need to feel safe and develop a sense of security and consistency about the relationship.
So you, with that security that you have and that trust that you've built and that consistency that you've built, it allows you to have. It's easy for you to be transparent with that person.
Another aspect of an effective relationship, I should say, is communication. And we've been talking about this since the beginning of our channel. You gotta talk. You gotta talk. Talking to one another about everything supports the idea of transparency. No second guessing, no surprises, no sense of potential deception or sneakiness.
And one thing that we like to do, because we're married.
She was doing good, and I kind of wanted to do.
Next.
It's
date night.
Date night. That's
Night.
what we're talking about.
In a friendship and also in a romantic relationship, date night is just spending time with that person.
Yes. And another thing we also have to be careful with in a relationship is to have that sacred space. Let's look at Genesis 2:2. And on the seventh day, God finished his work that he hath done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. You got to set aside some time. I love Sierra. She loves me too, but sometimes we got to have that sacred space. Baby, I'm going to the room, or take a little longer in the car. Or,
mine is sitting in the car before.
You got if God had to take, after 7 days of creating the entire universe, he had to sit down and take a day off. We have to do the same thing too. Like, you gotta sit in that car. You gotta sit somewhere else.
Go sit in the park. Go walk in the park. Look at the creation that he has created for us to exist and live in.
Right.
And it's still here. You just gotta take that time to just be with you and with God. The oneness of it. It's great to, of course, be around people, but a lot of people I noticed are terrified of being by themselves. Because they have to face themselves, and that's I didn't realize that was a scary thing to some people, but it is. And it's because you really have to, that oneness, like, okay, am I whole? Me, myself, and God. Am I whole? And if you don't believe in God, are you a whole person? Are you complete in who you are? Right. The good, the bad, the ugly. Are you whole? And that is just sometimes really hard for people to do. And it's a growth pattern. We go through stages in lives where we're like, oh, I'm not where I want to be. And then you feel torn because you're like, I have to go through this. These growing pains suck. And they do suck, but they make you for who you are. If you didn't go through those growing pains, you wouldn't be the person you are today.
Right.
So, and you are wonderful, beautiful, and wonderfully made. just to tell you that.
Now the next one's kind of more centered around the intimate relationships. Is romance, or the term sex.
And getting it in.
Sex and relationships do not occur in separate containers. That's where a lot of time we get separated. We even had that conversation where it was like, I could have sex with somebody, but then we try to get deep in intimate relationship. I can't talk to you about it. Like, it was very confusing when it was something we saw on TV. Sex and relationship should go hand in hand, in definitely in the intimate relationship. But even if it's a friendship, more of the, if you are that type of, that type of friends, giving the hugs, giving the, the dabs.
Oh, the intimate,
intimate part of a friendship too. Because that's important too.
That's why this COVID thing is so hard, because me and my family are hugging people. Like, hey girl, whoo.
Something about seeing my boy and going like, "What's up?" and getting that that pull in,
love.
like that just keeps that connection and human, keep you being a human, keep you going. So it's very important that we do not forget that part of any relationship.
Even when a back rub, holding the hands, cuddling.
Babe, we got. Trying
to keep this PG. This PG cuddling. Those things matter. I remember William would say, I was so busy before we bought our house, and I was about to go there. God, it was about to be bad. Woo! I was I needed it, I needed it in my life. Hey, I want to have it in my life. But it's beginning our marriage, y'all. But I wasn't giving him any love, any intimate time. It was just like boom, done, and go. And he was like, later on, he didn't know how to say it. He was like, I feel like a piece of meat, like a piece of meat. And I was like, sorry. So he needed that extra touch. He needed that extra love. To know that
That's
I like desired him, not just want him, but I desired him, and I wanted to show him love. And a lot of women want that too. I think our friends had an opposite situation. It was my husband, and I was like,
what's up? Like,
I need a little extra love. So we understood. We could talk about that. Oh, it's so easy to talk about, but it's married.
So you were saying it feels like it's two separate things.
We married, but and it's sad. It's sad. The world has it really backwards. That sex goes before having an intimate relationship, and it should be.
Intimate relationship
should come before the sex. But anywho, I digress. So the next thing is sharing responsibility.
Yes, we've talked about this before, definitely. In Ecclesiastes 4:9-10, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. And that was, I felt one of the greatest obstacles was that sharing of the responsibility. When you were so used to how to do things, I know I like my dishes a type of way. I know I like this, and it's like you gotta let go and let someone else in your life. That was really hard for me. So, but I mean, if anything you love is worth fighting for. So I definitely had to make some sacrifices and changes. But in the end, it was rewarding because then I realized, hey, if I share this responsibility, the toll gets lifted off of me and I can focus on other things, intimacy, communicating. But if you try to put it all on you, putting all that pressure on you to do everything on your own, that's when a lot of us fall apart and just don't have time to do the other aspects of an effective relationship.
And then when you're in a friendship, sharing the responsibility looks like, are you the one always calling? Are you the one always asking to hang out? Are you the one always reaching out? And the other person is just like, no, yeah. And it's like you're not feeling the love back and forth. It's not a tug on each other like, oh, I miss you. It's more of a, I miss you, I guess. I mean, you let me know. It's not, and that's sharing responsibilities in a effective relationship is just like, you come over my house to cook, right? And this is something that's so simple, but it's so difficult for other people to understand, especially if you're a selfish person. Anywho, next thing. But is when you have a gathering, you do have your date night, and I'm gonna cook, girl. You can come over, but effective relationship is I'm not gonna be the one always cooking. Can you bring over the wine? Can you share responsibilities? That I think also makes you appreciate one another a whole lot better than someone who's just a taker, or someone who's just a giver.
Right.
Sharing that responsibility. That's also. Wisdom goes with that as well. You have to be a wise person to understand and be watchful of your relationship as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that takes us to the next thing, which is respect.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Come on.
Yes.
Matthew 7:12 says, treat others as you want them to treat you.
Yeah.
This is what the law and the prophets are all about. True love is respect. And I feel like I said, there's no order to it, but if I did put an order, I'd probably put this at the top. Because I feel like without respect, others, you won't feel like, I don't feel the need to communicate with you.
True.
I don't feel putting it on the table. I don't feel like transparent.
That's true.
Because I've seen a lot of relationships where they're in a relationship, but you obviously see that there's no respect in it.
And respect doesn't mean sacrifice.
Yes.
It means a simple consideration. And that's with even people that you might not have the same agreement with.
Right.
You just don't have to agree, but you do have to make a consideration and say you're still a human, right? 1. 2, you still have life. Because you're still here. And 3, I'm going to respect what you, if that's what you believe, I respect that. And you move on. But you don't hate them. You don't. That's our next one. Setting you up. Next.
And simple consideration also goes with the next aspect of effective relationship, holding space. Abraham was given a statement by God. He's saying that you're gonna be the father of many nations. You know, he had his goals. He had what God had given him. But in the end, it was actually Sarah going to be sitting there giving birth. Now, they both laughed at it, and they're in their hundreds. They laughed at it, but they knew that trust God, and God gave him a son. But he had to realize that, okay, this is what God gave me, this is what Sarah gave me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes Sarah's going to go through something God has called her to do. Sometimes God's going to give me something he wants me to do. It doesn't mean that we're not joined together. Now we're gonna come together and support each other.
Right.
But at the same time, God has a word for Sierra that she could only handle. There's no way I will ever understand the joy, the pain of giving birth. That's what Abraham had to realize. Like, hey, I'm gonna be father of the nation, but Sarah got something going on too.
She has to hold it.
She has to actually give birth. So he had to step back and be like, hey, if you need me to wash your feet, you need me to comb your hair. That's what it meant by holding space. Sometimes the partner, the friendship is going to go through something that you're not going to be part of at all, but you can still be there supporting them, help them out through their whatever they're going through.
And then they have to, of course, allow you to. You know, they have to allow you to. And I think as we started growing in our marriage, that was something that was hard for me to understand. But I knew God had to break me to help me understand that, because it's like some things I have to carry that Will can't carry, and that was a hard thing for me to understand. But I get it. You know, it's my walk with God, it is our relationship, right?
Yes.
But I am an individual. We said it in another video, is that I still am an individual. My soul, God, it's still me.
Yes.
And yes, us is another dimension of who I am.
Yes.
But it's me.
I remember seeing that with my father. My dad didn't go to church a lot, you know, but he supported in every endeavor my mom as an evangelist went through. If she had to take time, she knew that a big sermon she was coming up, and she just didn't focus on cooking. He took care of the cooking. If there's gonna be a church picnic, he was there barbecuing. Hey, where's Brother Pleasant at? He was right there supporting. He held space. He knew that, hey, I'm not part of this, you know, my wife not
to be a part of this,
part
but
of it,
I will support
but
her.
I will support her in whatever she's doing.
And the one thing that gets us through our relationship, and as you can tell, we love to laugh.
Yes.
Humor is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
We use it a lot.
Yes. Ecclesiastes 3:4 says there's a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. I've seen relationships where, and it doesn't mean it always has to be ha ha ha, but there has to be a point of any relationship where you realize you don't have to take everything so seriously.
Right.
Sometimes we get into arguments, by the end of the hour, it's over, because we realize it was something. It was, I'm still going to express my feelings. She's still going to express her feelings. But once we get it out, let's move on, because you don't want that. You don't want tension to grow, and that's how sometimes the divorce rates or friendships break up, because they didn't find time to laugh about things, find a silver lining for things. Yeah.
And the sum above all of this, it's a long one, but it's a good one, right? We try to give you little nuggets to help us have effective, good relationships, no matter what part of the spectrum you are on a relationship, and spend time together. Speak your truth. Listen and respect the other person and each other. Take time. Take care of yourself, but also laugh together.
Yes.
It's so important that we understand all of those aspects of one another and relationship. If we don't, we see things as black and white, and a lot of things are gray.
Right.
Another series for you. I'm just giving them to you
Check
today.
It out. Check it out. Living in the gray. You know where to find it.
So I hope this was awesome for y'all. It was good for us. What God gives us always helps us.
Yes, remind us and
it helps us build a more loving relationship. So I thank God for this platform. I thank you guys for watching. I thank God for our subscribers. Please, share, comment, and subscribe.
Click like
all of that.
Another thing we don't mention, I usually don't, but hit the bell just to be notified.
Because people tell me they're not getting notifications. You gotta hit the notification button.
Bell.
And then if you don't have a YouTube account, get one. So you get the notifications. So you'll know when we have videos.
Yes.
Hey.
Follow us on Facebook or on Twitter. We're telling you on there. You'll get a little pop-up saying, hey, a new video,
Yeah.
Find us on all the social media platforms. Until next time, guys, we love you and have a pleasant love.
Bye.